Magic defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers in an ugly victory, but it's a victory. And a victory right now because I am joined by Skinny from Where the Magic Happens pod. Thank you so much, sir. Looking forward to getting your takes. Skinny, I'm not so sure that this was – hey, all wins are wins. So I'm not complaining here, but I'm not so sure that we won the game so much as the Cavs lost it. They shot 35% from the field, 22.5% from three. I thought that, like, are we playing ourselves? 22.5% from three on 40 attempts. Holy crap. I mean, they were already without Mobley. Jarrett Allen was racking up fouls like Tristan Thompson's racking up baby mamas. Like, he was out of the game a lot. You were in the building, sir, so give me, your take, your feeling. What did it feel like from your perspective?
Wow. What a handsome guy to do intro for me, man. That just turned me up a little bit more.
Hey, I like
I'm
this
great.
already.
I'm great, man. It's a pleasure to be here. Last night at the game, the energy in the arena, I will say, won us part of that ball game as well. I'm going to throw a tidbit at you. You're talking about how poorly Cleveland shot. You see that they go 9 of 40 from downtown. They hit 7 of those threes in the first quarter. So it was really like that first quarter was just, I was like, man, is it going to be one of these again? Is it going to be Brooklyn where we just can't shoot with the other team?
Yeah.
So I agree. I think, part of that is them losing that game, but our defense in that third quarter, that run we went on for a little bit, Jalen diving on the floor, the lob, we'll talk about all that, but I think it's kind of 50-50 on the win.
Word. Yeah, no, you bring up a good point. Like that first quarter, the first quarters are something I'm keeping a keen eye on right now because in our losses, we kind of lose it early with those first quarters. And in this one, they were on fire. I mean, they were, as you said, they hit 7 of their three-point shots from beyond the arc. They were shooting 41% at that point from three. So they were hitting some tough shots. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, both netting 7. But even after that, we stuck with them. It wasn't like we let go like in the Brooklyn match, 29-22. Like we're still in it. We're still there. So I felt good about that. That was one of the notes. I said, better start to the first. They made some hard shots, but we stayed with them. Early on, too, it's very clear that, especially with Evan Mobley out, they don't have anyone that can guard Paolo Banchero. Like, their guards are way too small. And, like, you're going to put Dean Wade? Excuse me? So Dean Wade? I mean, I don't think he's probably as much related to Dwayne Wade as I am to Skinny, like brothers from a different mother, perhaps, but like
exactly.
It's not the same player though. It's a different D Wade.
he's like a fake Kevin Love. He's like Kevin Hate. You know what I mean? And you're trying to throw him on Paolo Banchero. That was never gonna work. Unfortunately, we didn't get the foul calls. I thought we should have. I think I from being there, I feel like when you're at a game, it's more frustrating. But, like, on TV, did it just look like a bloodbath with no foul calls for us in that first half?
It did look like they were getting a lot more ticky-tack stuff than we were. I mean, I can remember one instance of, like, Darius Garland dribbling himself behind the backboard and drawing a foul somehow. I think it was on Anthony Black. And Anthony, he does leave his feet. That's my one. He's a tremendous defender, but he loves to kind of, like, leave his feet and be all over the place. But he didn't even really come in contact with Darius at all, and they called the foul on him. There was a lot of that. And looking at the free throws, 33 times they got to the line. And that's surprising, to your point, from us. We only got to the line 25 times, and that's supposed to be our bread and butter. Paolo Banchero, I think he only touched the charity stripe not many times. He got three looks at the charity stripe, and he was banging down low. So
the whole game.
It definitely felt like, Donovan Mitchell, he's going to get those calls. He's an expert at that. He was there 9 times. But Darius Garland really, he was cooking last night. 11 of 23. He got to the line 12 times, 36 points. He was the only player. No, I checked that. He was the only starter in plus minutes, as was Tristan Thompson, who my fiance is going to hate because she's like a Kim Kardashian fan, and Tristan Thompson, I guess, is enemy number 1.
I
But
mean, somehow he's more known for fumbling a Kardashian than even dating one. So
no, the point is well taken. What did you think about? I have something that was a big difference for us versus the first time that we played the Cavs was that we had Ji, and we lost Jalen Suggs early in that game too. But just zooming in on Ji's minutes, what did you see there? Seeing him back with the second unit, he was in only for 13 minutes. But is there anything that you liked there, sir?
first thing that I loved about Ji, and I rave about it every game that he's been able to play in so far this season. I was a little nervous after he got hurt again last year. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
is he going to come back with the mentality of like I can out rebound guys and want to crash the offensive glass? Because I think he's shooting like 23% from deep right now, which you're not asking Jonathan Isaac to be a world beater from behind the arc.
Sure.
Um, but I think in like his first minute or so, no, that's a lie because he came in with like 2 seconds left in the first, but he got that offensive rebound, that putback. Um, I love just seeing him incorporate himself into the
Mm.
offense. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily waiting for a play to be drawn up or a broken play, just being the same guy he is defensively, like helping people, cleaning up other people's scraps. Then defensively, man, game changer.
Yeah.
Game changer. He comes in the game and it's so fun watching him just freely roam around. It's like he just picks who he's gonna torture on this possession or whatever. So I think that was it for me. What about you?
No, you hit it. Like it's a completely different dynamic, especially on the defensive end of the ball. To see, because one of my big knocks on the front office, and there's not much you can knock because they have done a tremendous job putting this team together. But coming into the season, even, hey guys, the center depth is a little light. What's going on here? Because we do have Wendell Carter who gets injured and Jonathan Isaac who gets injured, so it's been tough. And when we get beat, we still got beat on the boards tonight, which is freaking surprising and a little worrisome still. 48 to 43, we lost the boards. But it's nice to have Jonathan Isaac back in there. That kind of mutes my voice a little bit. I'm not going to give you so much shit, Jeff Weltman, if Jonathan Isaac is playing because he's able to cover up some of those deficiencies and some of that lack of center depth. He's a forward, but really he does a lot of the things that I want a center to do. Moritz may body up the big, but like you said, you've just got Jonathan Isaac kind of roaming there like a defensive back, ready to help from the weak side and swat stuff away. And that works. That makes things, that alleviates a lot of the center depth issues that I think I would like us to address at some point. Maybe it won't be at this trade deadline. I'm working on a piece for Orlando Magic Daily. Might not be this trade deadline. Maybe over the summer. I don't know, but I've loved what Goga has brought, and another tremendous game from Goga because he protects the rim. How many blocks did he have today? 4 blocks.
4 blocks. Four
And,
blocks, man.
and I love Wendell and his numbers in terms of guys how well they shoot when he's on them close to the hoop are very favorable for him. But he's not a guy that guards coming into the paint are going to think about and having to alter their shot. Goga's
Yep.
becoming that type of guy. Jonathan Isaac already was. So now there is no rest for opposing guards that are trying to come into the lane. You got Goga on the starter side. You got Jonathan Isaac on the second unit.
Well, then, I mean, I think. Oh, go ahead. You got it.
No. You go. You got another point on this? I want to go to Slow Mo Joe after this, but if you got some more Jonathan Isaac love,
Yes.
let's let it come.
I got some Jonathan
Phrase.
Isaac love. Really, just like defensive setting love. I think while you're explaining what you were just explaining, and even like Moritz, I don't think Moritz is, nobody's gonna rave about him being a top 5, top 10 defender or anything like that. But he is good for the body ups. I've always felt like Wendell has not. It's not an issue. It's just like his skill is more rim deterrence versus rim protection.
Yes.
He's part of that body up crew. I don't know. I
Mhm.
call him the body up crew, guys that can body up, but Goga's gonna stop you from getting that shot off. Jonathan Isaac. But you talked about guards getting into the paint and have to deal with those guys. That's if they can get past Jalen Suggs on top of the key, man. So it's just been a great thing. Like you said, you can be critical of a team when it's like, man, we're bringing these guys that can't stay healthy. But I understand what you guys were doing when you looked at this team and saw what they could be all together when they are healthy.
So Can you talk a little bit more about the vibe in the arena? Because I have an arena point, and but I want to hear from you first about what was the vibe, how was the crowd, what was going on in person there.
The ambiance of Amway. It was dope. I mean, I just love showing up to Amway, having to be shoulder to shoulder with people at
Mhm.
games now. Like it's ridiculous.
On a Monday night, no less.
On a Monday night, man. You know what I mean? I was a kid when Dwight was here, so last time I
Hmm.
remember it looking like that was 10 something years ago.
Yeah.
Um, it was Jewish Heritage Night at
Okay.
Amway, so we had
A
a
lot of yarmulkes in the building, or what?
lot of yarmulkes.
Okay.
The halftime. Okay, our halftime and in between timeout challenges with the fans, very good tonight. Last night, very
All
good.
right.
I'll say we
Nice.
had a little yeah, three guys riding these like trolleys, Kyle. Like imagine three grown men are on trolleys and they're racing around these cones. And when I tell you all of Amway is just like, come on, let's go. You got people saying, no, that guy cheated. It was fun. It was pretty good, I'll say.
Hell yeah. Were there any like really dope like magicked out yarmulkes that you noticed?
No,
Any
I did
like
not
super
peep
swaggy
any.
ones? All right.
No, I
Well,
did not.
second cousins, Hebrew second cousins out there. If you know, we'll represent. I just give me a swaggy yarmulke. I will rock it on show. We'll go to the Amway next Jewish Heritage Night. Yeah, it was 100% capacity. So this is my gripe. This is my gripe, Skinny. It has nothing to do with the crowd. The crowd seemed awesome from watching at home. My gripe is that there were front row seats next to the bench that were vacant for a long time, and there was some people, they must have been coming from Miami or something, like fake fans here, that showed up like third quarter or something. I saw some seats in the lower bowl that were available. They were sold, obviously. But my thing is like, hey, man, if you don't come by second quarter, we're inviting the real fans down. You get to come on and sit down. I don't think that management's going to go for that, but I just think we need to reward the hardcore fans and fill those seats
You,
down by the bowl, man.
that's crazy that you even. I'm glad I didn't ask what your point was and I just let you explain it because I was at the game with my friend Stan last night and I was telling him it might have been like the third quarter or so, and I was just like, man, why don't we just do like seat upgrades? Like,
Right.
where's that at? Like,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be packed. I want the other team to feel like the fans are right on top of them. You know,
Yeah.
like the diehard fans, not just the people that are sitting there eating popcorn. No, the guys that are like screaming at you. You're
Yes.
trash. You can't guard
Yes.
my guy. That's what we want. So I'm right with you, Kyle. I'm right with you, man.
Yeah, as they're coming in, there should be kind of like folks at the door just looking, okay, yep, here, you can put your name on, you look hardcore, and we'll just, let's get some type of upgrade package going. Thank you. I'm glad that we're on the same wavelength with that. And now just a little bit of slow-mo Joe. Love, I mean, the name is so apt. 20 minutes, thank goodness. He rolled that ankle pretty good. Max Struess being a bastard trying to take our players out. He's just
Heat
so
culture.
patient, man. He's so heat culture. He's so patient.
I'm so sorry.
No, that was wonderful. You can't rush the man, and he had let's see, well, how many dishes that he had? Only three. It felt like more. 12 points, 6 of 6 from the floor, a perfect night. I'm sorry, that was free throw. Way to go, Kyle. 2 of 5 from the floor, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. But just love what Joe continues to bring, a calm, a patience on that second unit. And he gets guys in the right position. And man, he threw that dunk back too, like on Donovan Mitchell. He couldn't handle all that booty. He got him in that with a third quarter. That was freaking hilarious, man.
That
Donovan
was a
Mitchell couldn't
terrible
handle
flop
all that.
too. That was a horrible flop. I needed to see him get fined $2,000 today. Like that was a bad flop by D Mitch. I know Joe Ingles, he thick, but it ain't he ain't Nicki Minaj back there, my boy. You're all right. You should be good. But no, man, seriously, Joe was just I think the first possession he came in, he ran a pick and roll with Goga and got a lob off.
Yep.
I think that was like the first paint touch we had in like 5 possessions straight. Um, how have you felt about the Joe Ingles experience? I remember like just 5 games into the season, there was a huge amount of people saying, should Joe Ingles be getting 20 minutes a game? Is he
Yeah.
going to contribute? He doesn't shoot the ball. How have you felt? What are we like 23 games in now?
Yeah, I was definitely trying to temper all those expectations. he's an older cat. He was, he had been off the ACL, but you just felt like it was going to take some time for him to get his sea legs under him and get used to the team. So I was very much, let's stay the course. I would like him to take more 3-point shots. I would like anybody to take more 3-point shots, to be honest. And I think Joe Ingles is that guy because he's a career 40% 3-point shooter. So, 4 attempts. We don't have a guy right now. Jalen Suggs is taking the most attempts on our team at 4.2 attempts, or I'm sorry, 5.2 attempts. What I wrote it down a moment ago. 4.2 attempts, I believe, per game. And no, it must be 5. And we need more than that. Like, I'd like to have Joe Ingles taking 7 3-point shots a night. And he's more of a facilitator than I really realized. And that's been fantastic. But I still would like the other team to have to defend the 3-point line. And I think he can definitely do that. He has the career accolades, so teams are going to respect him. But, let's get up some shots, guys. Like, let's make teams defend the entire court so that Paulo and Franz can eat down low. What about you? How you feeling about Slow-Mo Joe, Jingle Joe?
I love me some Jingle Joe, man. Jingle bells right around the holiday season. It's perfect right now. I'm right with you. Like, the start of the season, I always comment on what I see, like, from each game. So yeah, I was like, man, Joe Ingles got 20 minutes tonight and didn't put up any shots, but I wasn't off the Joe Ingles train. Now that he's come along, and not come along, but he's just playing his game, playing the game that you've seen from Joe Ingles before. I've loved it, man. I think I've loved the way Mose has tweaked his lineups and his rotations, where Cole may be the sixth man of this team, but Joe Ingles might be that first guy off the bench sometimes, to give Franz that rest. He comes in. Now those are the stretches where Paulo gets hot to end the first, or Goga's getting his lobs, guys hitting threes. I think Joe's been a huge addition. I don't think Joe doesn't have the what's the word I'm looking for there? Like that shoot first all the time mentality, because he's such a good playmaker. So I agree that we need to shoot the 3 ball more. Like I say, if we shoot under 33s a game, we're gonna win. But realistically, that's for a long term, most teams you got to shoot the 3 ball. You're gonna need to knock down some threes. I think a guy that focus should be put on him a little bit more is Gary Harris. If you ask me, that's the other guy on this team. You said Joe Ingles is a 40% 3-point shooter. We know what Gary Harris can do. He took 3 shots last night, Kyle.
I know. Yeah, he's kind of fading into the background a little bit too much for me too, Skinny. But a guy that certainly is front and center lately is Goga Bitadze. I mean, another tremendous game from Goga. 15 points, 7 boards. We already talked about the blocks, but man, he's been on one these last 5-6 games. Man, he's really hitting his stride, especially on the scoring side. I mean, the defensive presence was always there. He was kind of altering shots, getting boards, doing that stuff. But man, players are starting to find him a little bit more, and he's operating from the in the post there really, really well. I mean, Goga Bitadze is gonna make the decision difficult when Wendell Carter Jr. comes back. We've talked a little bit about it on Court Cousins, and I'm sure you guys have on Where the Magic Happens as well. What's your take on Goga? Would you like what you're seeing, and what's that debate going to be like for you when he comes back, when Wendell comes back?
It's going to be a tough one, Kyle.
Yeah.
It is going to be a tough one. Man, because first off, the giving Goga is what I like to call it. What we ran last night, that little him and Jalen Suggs, like you talk about him operating out of the high post. Oh, we got some praise going, fellas.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You got the applause for that one.
That play I think when I look at Goga, this is a guy that we picked up the latter half of last year. It was one of those signings where people were like, oh, who's this guy? You know who he is now. We know who Goga is. He stepped up huge in the while we've been missing Wendell. I don't know what that conversation looks like though, man, because I'm a big Wendell guy. Yeah, I really am. But it's just like certain points of it are just interesting to me because, before he got hurt, I was looking at him and I was like, man, unfortunately, our center is one of our better floor spacers.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, how is Goga going to do that? Goga doesn't shoot a ton of threes. He's found a way to impact the game literally the way he plays it. And I value that because that's a guy that is going to be able to play you in a lot of different situations. You know, he's not such a situational player because we've seen games where Goga, we can rave about Goga having 6 points, 3 blocks, 8 boards versus games like last night where he has 15, 7, and 4. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't like that question, Kyle.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come with the fastballs. I know you're a baseball player, but I didn't mean to come with the high heat. I'm sorry. We can have that conversation a little bit later. It's a little preempted anyways. Back to this game though. The Magic did, I mean, it was ugly. It wasn't a pretty match. We shot 46% from the field, 26%, almost 27% from 3. But what we did do is we locked down in the third. That's where games are won, right? When you come out of half, who is going to put up or shut up? We came out. We won the third. I think, let's see, what do we hold them to in the third? 15 points. 15 points, 30-15. And there was a streak there for like, I don't know, 10 minutes where they hadn't scored a bucket. So we really locked them down in the third. And, hey, came away with the win. Not going to complain about that. But looking forward to our schedule, we've got some tough games coming up. We got in Boston, in the Garden, dude, wicked. Friday, December 15th against the Celtics. Then Sunday again. Then we get the Heat in our home. We got to protect home court, as Jalen said. We get the dubs at home. We protect the home court. Then we go to Milwaukee, go to Indiana to play the Pacers. This stretch of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, it's going to be a tough stretch. It's weird because I think the Cavs are playing the Celtics on Thursday night. So the Celtics will be playing us on the second night of a back-to-back. So I went from rooting against the Cavs now to rooting for them. I hope they make it difficult for the Celtics and wear them out for our win, for our game win. Oh, I hope that was a Freudian slip. On Friday. What are you thinking here? I mean, we got 5 games coming up. What do you think about those tough teams? What are we coming away with here, Skinny? You think we're going to sweep the Celts in the Garden?
In the Garden? Man,
and shut
I'm
Addy House up in his house?
I would love to.
Oh, my God.
I'll tell you that. I can tell you what I'd love to do. I can tell you what I'd love to do, and that would be sweep them. I think somebody made the point the other day. It's kind of the law of averages, especially a really good team like the Celtics. You're not going to be able to dominate them every single matchup.
Right.
I definitely think we split. I think I'll say this. If we don't split, it'll be a disappointment because that is a team that we can beat, regardless of. I really think that's a team that we can beat. I don't know if we can do it twice on their home floor because as good as we are at home, 10-1, I believe, and we're on a 9-game home winning streak, they haven't lost at home at all.
Yeah.
They haven't lost at home at all. So I'm actually rooting against the Cavs. I want the Celtics to beat them on Thursday. I want them to feel good about a win.
Okay.
I want to shut it down, Kyle.
Lull them into a false sense of security and then go in for the kill. Okay. I see where your head's at. See, you're playing chess when everyone else is playing checkers. Thank you so much, Skinny Man. It's been good hopping on, having someone to riff with about this game, about what we got going on. Make sure everybody out there, if you haven't already, you're tuning into Where the Magic Happens pod to see Skinny and the rest of the boys. And I'll see you soon. Let's go Magic. See you on Friday. Peace out, Skinny.
Peace out, man.
All right. Nope, that's not it.
That was dope.
Hold on.
That was dope.